Welcome to Straight from the Horse's Mouth, where we cut the BS and give you the truth all about sports. Once again, I am Bryce Oden, hosting with Bryce Davis.
What's good?
Back for another episode. First off, how are you feeling?
Refreshed, ready to go. A lot of stuff happened, and I'm ready to get to it.
Obviously, as we talked about last week, Bad Bunny was announced as the was Super Bowl halftime show performer. A lot of pushback.
A
lot of people felt like it was politically motivated. And a lot of people, I've heard comments saying like it's a Super Bowl halftime show, so why should it should be in English and not Spanish? As Bad Bunny is
predominantly Spanish
from Puerto Rico. So first, let's talk about that, like the rhetoric around it, because normally when it comes to Super Bowl halftime show, it's always a conversation of like, who's heard of this person? Who the audience and all that. It's more, this person sucks. They don't deserve it. But this is when it's rarely that this is taking on a political thing.
It's taking a huge political lens. And I also think the NFL is allowing this on purpose, because if you remember, they got into a political spat 8 years ago, or no, even more than 8, when Colin Kaepernick was doing his thing.
Right.
And everybody was wrecking him over the coals and all that. And I think they was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. You know what? Y'all drug us into this BS. We gonna do what we want. We giving you Bad Bunny, and you gonna like it because he's a global superstar. Let's not forget that. Well, I don't know if he's global, but
he's
global. Okay, I thought he's a global superstar, and we've had lesser acts than him do this show before. We getting who we want,
right?
And you gonna like it,
right? Also, I think a lot of people have to remember, it's not like there's a lot of acts to choose from.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's only so many stars, because people say, let's just say people go, well, you know, NFL needs to go with their core fan base, whatever people think that means. Let's say they go to the country act. That's still alienating a lot of other people.
That's like 3 people in country, maybe.
Well, but that's still alienating
that's
people.
True.
Like,
because you also have to remember what a Super Bowl party is, right? There are people who come for the game. There are people that are coming for the halftime show. Right, like that's a legit thing. People come to Super Bowl parties because they want to experience just the halftime show. Right. I remember when I think it was when Lady Gaga was doing her thing, gay niggas was tuning in for that. That was a fact.
Right.
Like, so what do you like again? Like, this is an event for everybody. It's not just football fans. The Super Bowl is for everybody, and whoever everybody is, we gotta have something for them, and that's what Bad Bunny is. Whoever everybody is, Bad Bunny's for somebody. They tuning in.
Right. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand because of the whole language barrier, people may be like, all right, how do I get into this? His music, if you actually give it a chance, is very infectious. Yeah. And you can actually listen to it and have fun. You may not understand what he's saying. Yeah. But you can vibe to it, right?
His music has got that Caribbean, Latino thing to it that has been in music before. Like, regular English artists have used those types of beats in their songs. Like, Justin Bieber with Esperito, right? Like we were vibing to that, so why can't we vibe to that?
Or Despacito?
Oh, Despacito. Yeah. Despacito.
And that wasn't his song, but he was featuring on it.
He was featuring on it, but that was to get the English listeners to listen to something like that. We was vibing to it.
Right. So I just think that but I want to focus on the political aspect of it, right? Because of the climate that we're in. Obviously, another big element of Bad Bunny being chosen to perform the Super Bowl was the fact that he released his last album. Yep. And instead of touring, he decided to have a residency specifically in Puerto Rico,
in his home country.
Primarily because he felt like if he was to have it in the United States, or part of the reason he felt like it was to have it in the United States was, I know for a fact that
they're gonna target
my
audience. Yeah,
would target my audience, right? Yeah. Because if there's one place to gather, you get a bunch of people you feel like are here illegally, it would be at a concert by Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he didn't want to put his fan base at peril like that. Yeah. So rather than even go through all of that, you gotta come to me. Yeah. Come to Puerto Rico, you'll be fine and everything like that. And so a lot of people are like, well, he that's anti-American or whatever. He didn't even want to have it here. So why should he even get to perform it here, right? Yeah. So I said they're gonna be at Super Bowl.
Yeah, they said
they will be at the Super Bowl. Their own words. Just because it's Super Bowl, that means you can hide or whatever. Yeah. I think I also forget that the people they're looking for probably won't be able to.
That was the biggest thing when I read it. It's like, Super Bowl tickets is like 22 bands.
The common man is priced out of that.
Yeah, like that. You gotta drop some money to go to a Super Bowl event. So you not seeing Bad Bunny fans at the Super Bowl, big dog. Like that's not happening. Well, and even if you
not Bad Bunny fans, the people you're looking for probably won't be at Super Bowl.
Yeah. And even if they were, if they got the money to go to the Super Bowl, they probably fine.
Yeah, they damn sure got enough money to dodge your ass.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they got enough money to go to the Super Bowl, if the people you looking for have enough money to go to the Super Bowl, they're gonna be okay.
Right.
They probably got their shit straight.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna roll up on them and be like, you're in the league. It's like, nah, man, here's the shit. Get the fuck out of my face. I gotta go see Bad Bunny.
Why do you think that it's such a lightning rod right now? It's taking such a political turn right now.
I think it's just because, truthfully, I think white America knows it's not the cultural center in this country. They know that. They know that truthfully, right? White people listen to more rap and other music, along with the other music that they also listen to, but they also are listening to the Bad Bunnies and the rappers out there. And they know that they just don't have a cultural, they have to share the cultural space now. And that worries them, right? Like that makes them a little like, because the white replacement theory and all of that. I think that gets them a little nervous, and it's just like, dog, this is America, dog. Like, we had Italian dudes who used to be the cultural center of America doing jazz. We've had black Americans at the cultural center doing rap, hip hop, and jazz. Like, this is just what it is. Like, your traditional whiteness has to share now, and you have to be okay with that. And I don't think they're okay with that.
Yeah. I just think that, to me, even the announcement of, I just find it funny that these, the people who are so against it, it's like they're taking it as like they taking it as an attack.
Yeah, as an attack. And it's just like, it's not, though. Like, it's just not. Like, we've had a ton of female artists be on the Super Bowl stage, and that Shakira, J-Lo, Beyonce, what's her name? Katy Perry. We've had that. We've had British act. You weren't upset when a British act was on the stage.
Right.
Like, what's like, why is it an issue now? I think is the weirdest thing. I don't see why we can't just let music do what it is, be music, and enjoy it for what it is. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Bad Bunny, but when his music comes on, I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, turn that off.
Exactly.
It's like, no, I want to listen. I want to catch the vibe that everyone else is catching. And it's just such a strange thing to me.
Yeah.
I remember someone was like, yo, you should do Creed. I'm like, no, Creed, come on now.
I like Creed.
I like Creed, but for a Super Bowl show,
I like Creed.
I like them. I like them.
I'd be vibing.
Yeah, but
higher?
Yeah. Again, I love. They do take me higher. I'm going there.
Hey, Creed got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, he got 15 minutes. That's a festival set.
That's true.
Creed got a festival set in there.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Now, if it was like an hour.
But like, we do need people who really just give us what the energy that we want.
Right.
I think they feel like Bad Bunny will give them that.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Right. I think that I think a lot of people forget that the Super Bowl, the NFL, they wouldn't. They're very, as we saw with the whole Colin Kaepernick taking a knee thing. They are very conscious of their image.
Yeah.
And they will protect it at all costs. The NFL would not pick Bad Bunny to do it if they felt like it wasn't going to be beneficial and worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Right? They know what they're doing. They're not afraid. No. They're $1 billion industry. They're trying to grow their game. They're trying to grow their game globally.
They want to go overseas.
Your little spat on one day. They know you're not. They know you're gonna watch it. They know you're gonna watch it.
Yep.
You ain't going nowhere. What you gonna watch?
You didn't leave when Colin Kaepernick did his thing.
Right. Like what you gonna watch? You gonna go to baseball?
Yeah.
You gonna go to hockey?
On Super Bowl Sunday, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, after that, they just say, "Well, I'm not gonna watch again." Bullshit.
Yeah.
You got a fantasy team.
Yeah.
You got all this gear. Right. You ain't going nowhere.
What you doing?
We try. We're growing. We're growing our game.
Yeah.
Your little attitude. We don't give a damn about that because we already got you.
You and I both worked in retail.
Yeah.
What was the one threat that people said that you didn't give a damn about? You lost a customer today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to another.
Yeah.
And, okay.
Right.
I don't care, dog.
Right.
Like, go.
Yeah.
Go. So I lost you. There will be others, dog. Yeah. It's not that serious.
And NFL also knows that, like, we're the new America's game now.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna sacrifice your social status and amongst your friends, because now you're out the loop now.
Yeah.
You're going to sacrifice that. Going to the game, you're going to sacrifice that. BS. We call you bluff.
Yep.
We'll be suing you. We'll be seeing you that day. We'll see you at the Super Bowl.
See you Super Bowl Sunday. See you Super Bowl Sunday, big dog. And I hope you enjoy Bad Bunny's show.
Yeah. And I hope you and we're gonna increase the ads on the on Red Zone package, and you still gonna pay for it.
Yep. We're gonna combine 2 services. You still gonna love it.
Yeah. Right. We're gonna increase the prices of the games of the tickets.
Yeah.
Including the parking, you still gonna pay.
You gonna be there.
We're gonna increase the food price at the stadium. You still gonna show up.
Your team gonna go 0-16, and guess what? You gonna be in them stands.
Yeah.
You gonna be in them stands.
You have a big bag over your head.
Yep.
You still gonna be in the stands. So I just find it funny that people decided to turn into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the real question is it only BS because it's somebody you don't like or somebody that's not the complexion that you like? Because if it was Morgan Wallen, if it was a Post Malone, if it was a Jelly Roll, if it was any one of these other country artists that you like, would it be a problem?
It would.
If it was Taylor Swift, would it be a problem? If it was Adele, would it be a problem? No.
Nope.
Right? But because it's
a Spanish, because it's a Spanish-speaking artist.
Well, because they was hating when it was black artists too, but they didn't really have too much of a leg to stand on. Because they picked popular black musicians who are American.
Yeah.
But the fact that I just think that the time where I just think it's lame.
Yeah.
Moving on from that though, but staying in the NFL, I saw a clip. By a Fox analyst and former NFL Pro Bowler Greg Olsen of famously of the Carolina Panthers, famously of the Miami Hurricanes. Anybody who watched the U Part 2 remembers the rap he had. He said, my name G-Reg.
Yeah.
Something. Let me show him my third leg. If you know the third, you know. He was asked about CTE. Yeah. And the comments he made, I actually found it very interesting, which is why I shared it with you guys. As far as his thoughts on, does he believe CTE is a thing? Yes. Yeah. But he also believes that when we read the stories about these guys who went through these issues, whether it's a Junior Seau who committed suicide, right? Some of these other guys who went through various things.
Yeah, forms of dementia because of it.
Yeah. We've heard of guys just having problems. Lauren Phillips comes to mind. Dementia, suicide, depression, prone to violence, all these things. He says does he thinks playing football contributed to CTE? Yes. Yeah. But he also feels like the other just mental health issues that just normal day people have factors into it as well. Yeah. And he used himself as an example. He goes, hey, I play football too. Yep. I've had a ton of concussions. If you open up my brain right now, I probably have CTE. But I'm a fully functioning adult. I'm a fully functioning father. I'm a fully functioning husband. So what does that really mean about CTE?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I love what he's saying because I think he's pushing what we need to be pushing for, is that we just need more studies and to treat this more scientifically, right? We need to fully understand, kind of like how we do with autism now. What do we say about autism? It's on a spectrum. Maybe CTE is the same thing. Maybe there is a spectrum on CTE that you exist where maybe you do have more issues depending on height, weight, how long you played the game, all of that, versus, so maybe someone who said, well, I had a lot of concussions and I'm going to get out early before this becomes more of a problem for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm perfectly okay with him being like, yo, we need to just do more, get more information and treat it a little bit more differently than just the horror stories, but figuring out where that line is where people, fall off a cliff maybe. And I like that. What do you think?
I think people have to remember when it comes to like CTE and these things, right? And the NFL being sued and all the concussion and stuff like that. It was more so to do with the NFL knowing things and not revealing these things.
And not revealing
not
it.
More so the fact that
hiding it, really.
Right. And not more so the fact that players have always known that football was not some sport
that was good for your health.
Right. Was for the faint of heart. They've always known that, right? They playing through injuries and all that kind of stuff. But players felt like they weren't protected, right? Yeah. Hey, when I get woozy in a game, I probably shouldn't get brought back in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like these things will affect you long term.
Our heightened sense of it makes us look at Tua and be like, dog,
it's
exactly. Just a game.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. That's why we treated the Tua thing was so sensitive. Like, bro, you should retire because now we know. Yeah. But I think Greg's point is important because, like you stated, everything's not black and white. Yeah. Right. Some of these issues, some of these things that have taken place, right? It's like anything else, right? some people are more prone to things than others, right? So, for example, I've had a lot of surgeries in my life, right?
Yeah.
Which has proven to me that my body probably isn't as durable
as you thought it was,
as I thought it was, or compared to other people, right?
Yeah.
So taking that into consideration, when we both take bruises and injuries, mine may come out a little more worse than yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that we both don't have it, but mine will show in a more.
Yeah, maybe you just might have more prone to injury, and I'm not.
Yeah. Or just worse. Yeah. My knee may be ACL tear. Yours is sprain.
Yeah.
You're out a couple games. I'm out for a year. That's the difference. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all have different makeup, and I think the
brain is the same way.
Same way, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, hitting it, having forced blunt trauma.
Yeah.
Repeatedly is going to cause long-term effects, right? And you want the NFL to do everything in its power to make sure it's not putting you at risk, right? Making sure the equipment you're using is the best, of the best.
Yeah.
The doctors have your best interest at heart, right?
Yep.
All of those things, they're not giving you false information, but it would be also a fallacy to say, you know what, all these things these players are going through, all of these things are specifically have to do with because you play football.
Right.
He brought it up. Steroid abuse can contribute to that.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drug abuse could contribute to that.
Alcohol abuse might contribute to it. Yeah.
All the vices that some of these guys deal with outside of the game could definitely contribute in combination with the destruction that their brain taking by the pounding on the game in and the game out.
Yeah.
I think he's saying it's now he's not saying this, I'm saying this. It's a double honest, right?
Yes.
It's honest on the NFL and the player themselves.
Right. Are you taking care of your own mental health? Are you taking care of your own mental well-being?
Right.
Along with the fact that we all know that we all have got brain trauma.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Almost every NFL player has some sort of brain trauma, most likely.
Right.
We just don't know. Okay, now that I'm aware of this, am I doing everything on my end as well to keep my mental health safe?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think that's a good message. It's like, as much as we also want the NFL to step up, which it has, they've gone out the distance, and they might go even further, in a couple of years with the helmet caps. Like, they're doing their part. We need to make sure that hey, players, you got to do your part as well to make sure you're as healthy as can be mentally as well.
And my biggest issue was also, and this just go a bit off a tangent here, is now you see clips of guys calling the NFL soft and it's flag football. Most notably guys like Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
But my thing is, NFL players, former NFL players, you can't have it both ways. You can't at the same time be mad at the NFL for quote unquote putting you in harm's way, but at the same time saying the guys playing now should be put in harm's way.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways, right? The only reason why the NFL did all this is because they got sued for billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, again, it was because of they
were hiding.
They were hiding information, but at the same time, you guys still do this. Guys still are trying to figure out ways because of high injuries or do things because they know NFL, they'll cut you in a heartbeat. Yeah. Next man up, right? We're sitting right now in San Francisco. People are already saying,
"Hey, Mac Jones, that might be the guy."
Yeah, Brock Purdy,
Pays too much money for you, big dog.
Yeah. We might have move up out of that contract, like. It's a next man up. We move off you so quickly, so guys are more prone, especially in NFL, to just let me
play through it.
Play through it, right? And that's a decision.
That's a decision that you make. So if you make that decision, I don't want to get to the point where it's like everybody got to sign a waiver, right? Like, okay, well, you hurt.
I would do it if I was the
NFL. I would hate for it to get to that point, but if the NFL has to, then it has to. Where it's like, all right, well, here's the waiver. Then you sign away your rights to sue us and all that because you made this decision,
right?
And that's got to be. If that's got to be what's got to be, then so be it. But we would think we don't have to get to that point. I hope we don't get to that point where guys, you just take your own health into consideration. It's a game. You're only going to play it for a limited amount of time anyway. Depending on your career. So did you get everything you wanted out of it? That's the question that I think they all have to ask. And if you say no, then you got to protect yourself. Right. You have to protect yourself.
But moving on from football, going to basketball.
Yeah.
Karl-Anthony Towns was on the podcast. He's talking to Rich Kleiman of the boardroom, and he talked about the NIL.
Yep.
And how, and I think most people agree with this, right? The NIL has. It's good and it's bad.
Yes.
The good part is guys are getting paid.
Yep.
Girls are getting paid.
Yep.
right? No longer you seeing athletes, quote unquote, struggle.
Yeah.
You know,
that got to bend the rules to make a quick buck here and there.
Like they get to monetize and maximize
their name,
their
image,
time
and
in the sun, because it can be short. Most athletes don't go pro, right? Yep. And these institutions and NCAA are making a lot of money on these athletes. That's only fair they get a cut, right? But at the same time, he was like, it takes away the purity of the game. The example that he gave is, NCAA tournament this past year, there weren't a lot of Cinderellas, right?
Yeah.
Because guys who are normally at those schools are now, going to other schools. They're getting pried away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys are staying longer now. You know what I'm saying? So now no longer is it always just a bunch of freshmen now.
Yeah.
Some of these other schools are starting to linger until they have a lot of more juniors.
Yeah.
We saw that with Houston, a lot of more juniors. Yeah. That's why Houston beat Duke. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be honest. I like that guys are staying longer. I think that was the detriment to college basketball, was that we didn't get to spend a lot of time with some of these athletes. They were gone in a year or two, and then you're on to the next unit, and you're just like, I don't like this unit.
Right.
When you have a unit that sticks together a little bit longer, I think, like for Houston, you get invested in their journey as a basketball program, because you've seen these guys from freshmen to sophomores to juniors, and you're like, I'm ready to see them take that next step. Mm-hmm. I think that's been a benefit to college basketball, because I would argue that college basketball has needed a change for a while. I think the luster was already losing people. The image of college basketball that we loved was kind of already gone.
It was going down 8%.
Yeah. And I feel like college basketball needed a change to get us reinvested in it, because I don't think we were as invested as we used to be before NIL.
Yeah, I think the thing about NIL is it's the portal.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably the biggest detriment to NIL.
That's the biggest one. The transfer portal
is not guys. We don't have like in the back in the day where you associate a guy with a program.
Yeah.
Right? When you think of Georgetown, you think of Patrick Ewing.
Yep.
When you think of Duke, you think of Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
Right? When you think of Indiana State, Larry Bird.
We think of North Carolina. We're thinking Jordan, Kenny. Who's before it?
Well, I think of Jordan, David Thompson, James Worthy.
Yeah, James
right?
Worthy, yeah.
We associate all these guys with these programs. Like, okay, I could, Phi Slamma Jam, you think of Clyde Drexler.
Yeah.
Right? It's an instant image in your mind. But right now, because guys are hopping around, that sense of this is our guy isn't there anymore. But at the same time, that went away with the one and done era.
Yeah.
Then the minute the NBA made their rule that guys can just go to college guys have to go to college for at least 1 year or be removed from high school for 1 year to go into the league. Well, it was hard to associate one guy anyway, right? Unless you were like some hot shot rookie, not rookie, but like freshman, like a Anthony Davis, like a John Wall, right? Where it's like, okay, you were so good that you're 1 year at the school, like a Zion Williamson.
Karl-Anthony at Syracuse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, you were so good that we associate with this program anyway. Most of these guys just came and went.
Yep.
Just went to a school and was gone, and we hardly knew he. You know what I'm saying? I think that he brought up the whole NCAA tournament. I think people, when it comes to Cinderellas, people got to remember that was only a thing starting in like the late 90s, mainly early 2000s.
That's what I was going to say.
That was not a thing. For people understand this, Cinderellas, your definition of a Cinderella in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s were lower, like not lower tier, but like take a conference like the ACC.
Yeah.
In the 80s, they considered NC State a Cinderella.
Yeah.
They're already in the ACC.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
they're pretty good.
Right. Now, when we think of Cinderella, it'd be like a school like, I'm going to make a school up. It'd be a school like NC State A&M. You know what I'm saying? Like
A&T.
Right.
NC State A&T.
Yeah.
An agricultural and technical school.
Yeah.
With a basketball team. That's amazing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But back then, schools like that, schools like Villanova, right?
Yeah.
Schools like it's just out of the blue. Oh, they went on a run. That's really cool. You know what I'm saying? That's really dope, right? But that's a thing of the past. The Cinderella's more of a recent thing. You can't live and breathe and die on it anyway.
You know what I'm saying? That's not healthy for the image of the game.
Yeah.
And that's where he has a point that college basketball definitely is losing some of that hype that it used to have. But there are so many other factors that cause that before we get to NIL.
Yeah, way before. Way before. Now the question is, I think the portal is probably has to go away.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah. I think you got
because across all sports, it's a problem.
I think that the problem is NCAA only has so much power.
Yeah.
The conferences have the power now. The commissioners and presidents, they have to just, if they was to be on board with like, hey, if you transfer to a school, you just like the old rule.
Yeah, you gotta sit out of here.
You gotta sit out of here. I think that will bring back a little bit more of that. Okay, I'm gonna go to a school. I'm gonna still make my money.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna sign a contract. And honor my commitments and all that kind of stuff. And if I don't start right away, so be it.
Yeah.
Right. If I don't make it, so be it. But at least I think having that association of these are our guys, these are our players.
Yeah.
And bring that sense of community back to the space, because college was such a community atmosphere.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And bring that back, I think that'll help more. But this whole notion that it's lost its luster, that's not what the one and done era.
That's the biggest one, was the one and done era. If we really wanted to bring it back, the NBA would be the ones that have to say, you got to stay longer.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah. Moving outside of sports, last thing we're going to talk about today, something I found kind of interesting. So Joey Bada dropped an album.
Yes.
And then he announced a tour. He's going on a tour with Absol and Rhapsody. Yeah. And then news came out this week that the tour is canceled. Tour is canceled. They're gonna do a couple more dates. I think they're gonna do a date in Brooklyn or New York, and then that'll be it, right?
Yep.
And obviously, anytime a tour gets canceled, it's a lot of conversation about low ticket sales.
Yeah.
You're not as popular, and my mind went there as well. And I'm gonna die on that hill.
Yeah. I'm gonna stand on that hill.
Yeah, as well. Because it's overwhelmingly low ticket sales, right?
Yeah. And
where I want to go with this is, me and you have talked a lot about the state of hip hop, right?
Yes.
Early this year, Joey Bada was literally involved in a 20v1
beef
rap battle, right? Going against Joey Bada versus West Coast. He came out on top, right? You would think that the anticipation for his album would be high. You would think that the emphasis on him and his team to, hey, he hot right now.
Yeah.
He's blowing up on Twitter. He's the victor now.
We got to get moving.
Let's get it moving. Let's get the machine behind him. Let's get his name out there a lot more than what it already is, right? Let's focus. Let's get some actual singles that can do something on these like playlists and all that kind of stuff and make something shake. But instead, what we ended up getting was a piss poor rollout, low first week sales and album sales.
51,000.
What?
That was the first week sales. An equivalent of 51,000.
That actually might be good for him. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's
probably good for him. I'm gonna lie to you.
28 in traditional album sales.
Right.
So only about a couple hundred.
Look at his previous album first week sales were. I bet you this one was better than that one. Because I think it's probably his album prior to that was it 2000?
2022. So it was better.
Yeah, it was better.
2200.
Yeah.
22,000.
Right. So this was definitely better. But the fact that the guy who was one of the more polarizing guys to start the year flamed out, couldn't sustain it over the course of the summer. What is this? That I just think that should let people know where we are with hip hop.
Yeah.
Last year's beef, I said it once and I say it again. The only people benefiting from that beef was Kendrick Lamar
and Drake.
Not Drake.
Good, not Drake.
But Kendrick Lamar and media.
Yeah. Hip-hop media.
Hip-hop media benefited because they got things to talk about, right? Kendrick Lamar obviously was able to go on a stadium tour, win a bunch of Grammys, do the Super Bowl, the whole shebang, right? But we're still in the same problem that we had prior to the beef, which is hip-hop is still struggling to create new stars.
Yep.
And here we are, a guy who won a legitimate 20v1 was taking all.
Everybody in hip hop said he won.
Months later, can't even complete.
Can't get 100,000.
Can't get a tour.
Yeah.
And you think about him. You think about Young Thug flopping, right? Even Cardi B album drop. She did well. It went #1. But it's nowhere near the same fanfare that Invasion of Privacy have, right?
Yep.
A lot of other artists who dropped pretty good projects this year. I thought Offset dropped a really good project.
Yep.
Chance dropped a really good project.
Yep.
Jid dropped a really good project.
Yeah, we've had great projects this year. We got Clips with great projects.
You know what I'm saying? They have their best selling stuff so far, their careers, right? But a lot of these acts I just named have already been established.
Yep.
None of them are really new. And who are new, they're struggling to break that glass ceiling.
Yeah.
To me, the last guy to break the glass ceiling they were in was probably Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he had been in the game for such a long time.
Yeah. But he broke it in that summer with Igor where he beat DJ Khaled.
Right. Yeah. But to me, other than that, it's been a while, right?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of acts come and go. But I think that this thing about Joey Bada, I just found it interesting because, again, I thought, okay, it's up, and it wasn't.
No. Yeah. It's been a problem for years now, and I don't think there's a remedy for it, because I think this just shows this is kind of where hip hop was probably going to get to anyway, right? It's a saturated listening space. It's a varied listening. You've got things from drill to southern rap to, the Chicago styles, the Detroit styles. You got different styles out here. You got different types of stars, but not superstars, right? We got a Glorillaz and Megs, but they're not superstars. And I think it's just oversaturated at this point. We've got a lot of options, and no one has stood out as just the clear-cut people's choice at this point.
See, I've never bought into the saturation argument.
Really? You don't think so?
Because people were saying that back in the day. People have been saying the whole saturation. It's too much music out there. People were saying it during the MTV era. Everybody can make a music video. It's hard for the good stuff to get through. People, that will always be, to me, an argument people will always make, because the people you like, the little underground artists that you like ain't breaking through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I get, if you're coming from, if you're underground artist, stop it.
Well, I'm just saying people like the good stuff isn't breaking through. Like, bro, this little folky dude wasn't gonna make it. All right? You know what I'm saying?
No. But I'm thinking of it as the fact that we've got a lot of stars, but we don't have superstars anymore.
I think it's not, to me, about it being oversaturated.
Okay.
Right. I think it's more so about, one, the quality. Right.
That's fair.
People just don't like what you're putting out.
That's fair.
You're putting out music and it's not great.
Yeah.
And we will not tolerate not great music, not even good. We're not tolerating it.
No, yeah.
You're not. If you can put all the shots up in the world, but if
you still going 1 for 28, you went 1 for 28.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It don't matter how many shots you put up, right? So one, a lot of these artists aren't putting out quality music, and a lot of these artists aren't taking the time to actually develop an organic fan base.
That's
right.
Fair. Yeah.
We're seeing it right now with NBA YoungBoy on tour. What happens when you build an organic fan base?
Yeah.
Right. You can do what he's doing, which is selling out arenas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a lot of these people aren't putting the time and effort into being an actual artist, learning how to be an artist, promote themselves, how to conduct themselves, how to create the mystique around themselves, and how to become somebody that you gotta. I need to know what this person's up to.
Yeah.
When they drop something, I need to listen to it. I need to stop what I'm doing and go do it. Because back in the day, that's what it was, right? I had to stop what I'm doing, take time out of my day.
I gotta go get this record
right now. Go to this record, and spend my hard-earned money to listen to you, right? We're still singing now. A lot of artists are still able to sell really well. People will still wait up till midnight.
Yeah.
When an artist drops we said with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People, I will forego sleep. I got work at 8 in the morning.
And she just dropped. I'm listening
to it. You know what I'm
listening.
saying?
I will go to sleep, but I will sleep after this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will sacrifice. It's a different currency. But it's still currency, right? Yeah. But I think a lot of people right now, with a lot of these artists in hip hop specifically, we're just not really getting a lot of good polished artists.
Yeah.
There have been different types of hip hop artists who have been able to succeed in the history of hip hop, right? DMX.
Yeah.
Dude was barking on the track. People fucked with it.
Yeah.
Biggie, dark skin, fat, cross-eyed.
Yeah.
People was fucking with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tupac, controversial.
Yeah.
A lightning rod.
Right.
They gravitated to it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were, gangster rap came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Very vulgar music.
Yeah.
People was messing with it. You know what I'm saying? Drake, light-skinned rapper from the Canada.
Yeah. Singing
off the Degrassi, singing and rapping. What is this?
Yeah.
People fucking with it.
Yep.
We had all these different archetypes who have had success. So you can't tell me, because I'm this type of rapper, I can't succeed. Bullshit.
That's not true. That's true.
Tyler Creator.
Yeah.
Weird.
The weirdest dude you ever met. His early tracks, I wouldn't recommend anybody listen to those.
Exactly.
Things.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he had a TV show on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Adult Swim.
Adult Swim. Yeah.
And he's able to have success.
Yeah.
So we've had all these different types of artists have success. So it's not about being a saturated market.
That's
if you're
fair.
good, we will
Yeah.
extract you. We will find you. We will pull you. But you have to be good.
That's true.
And right now we're getting a lot of artists who are okay.
Who are okay, but who aren't putting in the true effort.
Yeah.
That's I think the biggest thing.
And you're not interesting either. Like, I take somebody like Jid. Great rapper. Jid is a great rapper. I am every time
I don't care what you're doing.
I am never been least interested in a rapper's persona than I am Jid. When he talks, everything, but he's a smart, educated guy.
Yeah.
right? I think he was in college briefly. I don't know if he finished, but he's
care.
not bringing me in.
No.
He's not pulling me in. The last artist to do that to me was probably Cardi B.
Yeah.
Where I was like,
I gotta feel.
Man, this little former stripper chick who was on Love and Hip Hop.
Yo, she got bars.
Yeah.
What's she doing?
The way she talked, the way she rap. You know what?
But she's also authentically her.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed.
Right.
Who she was on Love and Hip Hop is still who she is. So that already was enough.
Right.
And then she got bars on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
We good.
Yeah. But I think a lot of these rappers now, it's just they either don't have a personality.
Yeah.
They're boring. They're uninteresting.
They got no story.
They don't give people a reason to invest in them, either sonically or personally.
Yeah.
There's no personal connection there. So if there's nothing in there, then we're just gonna keep listening to the Kendrick Lamars, the J. Coles, the Drakes, the people we've been listening to them for a decade plus, right? Yeah. And until you give us another reason otherwise, that's just kind of how it's going to be. And hip hop is going to continue to be on this decline. It's slow, but it's a decline nonetheless, right? And I keep telling people, by 2030 or early 2030s, we will be behind
top of the charts. Yeah.
Country.
The country will top the charts.
Yeah.
Country and pop will eclipse hip hop.
And hip hop is going to be, for the first time probably since the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
We're going to be back around that time frame where we got a few stars and a bunch of just other people.
Yeah.
Bunch of jags.
Bunch of jags.
Yeah.
Or jars, really.
Yeah.
Just a rapper.
Just a rapper. We're in our jar. We're close to being in the jar era of hip hop.
Yep.
Just a bunch of rappers out here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, that's all the time we have for you guys today, man. You can follow me at Facebook at Bryce Olden. You follow me on Instagram at Bryce David Olden. Bryce Go and Tell.
From Twitter, Bruce Leroy.
And remember, if you didn't hear from the horse's mouth, stop listening to the ass who told you. And we out. Peace.